The consumer policy topic we chose to analyze is taxi regulations and shared ride services in Madison, specifically to Uber. Uber is a ride-sharing service that uses a smartphone application to arrange rides and then accept donations for service rendered. The donation is a suggested amount for payment, with some cities usually having a minimum donation. A subcommittee was formed in Madison to propose regulations for ride-sharing services like Uber to be legal. Uber states they are dissimilar to taxicabs because they do not have required fees, so because of this, they should not be subject to the strict regulations of taxicabs.
Common Council considers ordinances and resolutions whose subject matter includes traffic codes, taxes, and housing regulations, among other issues. Scott Resnick, the president pro tem of the Common Council in the City of Madison, has proposed amendments regarding Uber. Of the major requirements, we have found three that are the most of significance to this issue. The first being the issue of attaining a city license. Companies, drivers, and vehicles providing public passenger for hire must be licensed by the City of Madison. Uber does not currently hold this license, and the Resnick Amendment proposes for its requirement. Regarding insurance coverage, taxicabs must have a minimum of $1 million per accident. Uber has coverage up to $1 million per incident for the time period of a ride-sharing driver who has accepted a trip and are en route to pick up passengers, or who are transporting passengers, but not for the period of time the driver has the app open but is not transporting passengers. The Resnick Amendment proposes no changes, but has an unclear view if Uber meets these requirements. A major requirement being argued is the concept of surge pricing. Metered taxicabs companies must file rate changes with the city clerk at least 28 days before the new rate takes effect, and a company may only change rates every 6 months. Uber allows for surge pricing, and the Resnick Amendment proposes a request submission which lays out 10 specific days in the preceding year in which they would like to charge special fares.
In Madison, taxicabs are operating with monopolistic tendencies. There are few firms with no price competition, so set prices can stay high. There is also no incentive to have updated vehicles or great customer service. Uber alleviates this by creating competition. They use a 5-star ranking system to focus on customer satisfaction. Prove easy payment through the app when taxicabs often claim payment must be cash only. The surge price reflects supply and demand. In addition to the consumer harm and detriment that can occur from the insurance policy, we propose Uber keeps its existing pricing structure in place. Comparative negligence does not occur because customers are made aware of the surge charge and are required to enter the amount into the app before requesting a ride. Uber asserts that their ride-sharing drivers are not professional drivers, and customers are not technically hiring a driver because the company currently accepts donations for services rendered instead of a fee. The market will reflect customer disapproval, so there is no need for Madison officials to interfere with Uber's pricing structure. Our recommendations for the legality of the ride-sharing company Uber are proposals for the purchase of a $60 city licensing fee and a $25 driver's permit amounting to about $18,615, as well as making no changes to the current $1 million insurance policy except for the increase of $30,000 in property damage insurance to be like that of California and Colorado, who have already had legislation passed. In addition, Uber does not need to set a standard rate. This will keep prices low by using the economic principles of supply and demand.